In continuation of our last class, we talked about plotting with coordinates. We talked about plotting with coordinates picked with AutoCAD. Now we are going to talk about plotting with coordinates picked with handheld GPS. I could have also talked about coordinates picked with total station, but total station and AutoCAD are kind of in the same class, but more like a younger brother of RTK when it comes to accuracy, but RTK is higher in accuracy. Now, if you get a job from someone who picked, or a surveyor who picked your coordinates with a handheld GPS, I'm going to show you how you're going to plot it. Now, from the first coordinates we are taking here, and remember, we are always going clockwise. You pick your line, you click in your work environment, and you input the first coordinate, and you can be watching what you're doing from your command line to make sure you're doing something accurate. Now you enter the coordinate. Let's start from here. 300029.04, comma 541.729.52. Enter. Now the second coordinates 300,043.18. You demarcate it with a comma 541,725.61. Enter. Then the third coordinate. This is blocking my view. Okay, let's take this up so we can get the coordinate. 300,034.79, comma 541,694.43. Enter. Then the third coordinate, the last coordinate, sorry, which is the foot, 300,020.08, comma 541,699.36. Enter. You can just close the last. You can input the first coordinate for closure, or you can close it from here. Now, this is where it gets a little bit tricky. When you try to bring out your distances now, you find out that the distances are not same with the one in the drawn sheet, because forget the sheet is this is what I'm calling my drawn sheet. This, forget is this clean. Most times people sheets gotten from site are not this properly drawn. This is for class purposes. That's why it's looking like this. So when you look at the distances picked by the site's personnel, you notice that the distances I'm getting from its coordinates is different from this. Now, this is how you plot such a job. You delete the first line. You pick a line, click from the start point, pick a line after deleting the first line, click from the start point, place it on the second point. Don't click to join, just place it there in that box. When you place it like this, you type in the distance which was gotten from the measure tape, 30.50, and you press your enter twice. You will notice the line is no longer reaching where the coordinate estimated or pointed towards that it should be. Now we have gotten this distance to be 30.50. Now you repeat it here. First of all, you highlight all this, you move it to that point, to our new point. You delete the distance and the line, you pick another line, and you impute the next distance, which is 15.30. You press your enter. You have gotten the distance from the second side. Now, how to close a job plotted with a handheld GPS, which if we continue from this method I'm using, it won't close. You delete the last two distances. Let's assume it has about 5 or 10 points. Always remember the last two distances are what you're going to delete, and close them with a cycle. Watch what I'm about to do here now. How are we going to do that? You're going to pick your circle, click at this spot, and type 30.50 to represent this side of the land. You pick the circle once more, you click this side, and you type in 15.30. When you do this, you now close it with your line by using the point where the two circles meet as their point of contact. You click here, you click here, and you click here. When you delete this circle now and check the remaining two distances, they will now be as same as the one picked from the field. Now note, it is always easier to do this when you're plotting a 4-corner job, and mostly a one plot land, a land that is just a plot. It's easier to get the shape this way. But when the land is big, it is always advisable for the one picking the job in the bush to use compass. If they can't use compass, or they didn't use compass, after even plotting the job this way, it is advisable for you to search for that plot of land using your Google Earth. When you do that, it will help you get the real placement of that land should there be more errors than was estimated, because some site personnel don't know that when you're using your handheld GPS and you get to the field, you have to on it and let it read for a while, so the accuracy will be very high. Some just on it, pick it, and leave the site, maybe due to security reasons or whatnot. But these are all things you will learn subsequently. Now, the reason why I use a 4-corner land for this is to tell you how to close a land when plotting. How to close how to close a land picked, which coordinates were picked with a handheld GPS. This is how you do it. Then, just like in every other job we did, you now further to check the area of the land. You pick your area tool up, click the 4 points, right click, the area will appear in your command line. For me, I always like copying it and pasting it beside my job for lack of confusion. So, but it depends on how you go about plotting your job. You can bring your frame, though after this, we'll subsequently, before our next 2-3 classes, we are going to talk about how to prepare your frame. Now, after the area has been shown, you remember I told you how to bring out your bearing and minute. You can copy this, place it, you repeat that for the four sides of the job. Explode, copy, place. You do that here as well. You do that here as well. Now, how do we know the bearing and minute? You highlight each of those lines, come to list, you click, and you get them here. You copy, if this is a method you like, 16 degree 33 minutes. You close. You double click, you backspace, and you paste what you've copied. Now to bring the degree sign, you backspace the D, you bring your percentage sign twice, you click D, and it will automatically change to your degree sign, and you space out to convenience. You repeat that from all sides. Same here. Check here as well. Having achieved that, as I always warned, whenever you're plotting a job, make sure that the job has an access road. Now these are an access close, and they are telling us that the close is 5.5 meters in space. That is the length between the other side of the road to this side of the land. So how do we indicate that in our plan? You click your offset 2. After clicking the offset 2, you type in the distance that was measured, 5.5. Enter. Your cursor changes. Then you click the line at the side of where the road is located and come out, because if you click inside the line and place it, the road will go inside the line. And when plotting, to undo, whenever you send in a command that is not what you wanted, maybe a mistake, you press Ctrl Z and it will take you a step back. You come out, you click that line and repeat it outside. That's just it. Then from the indication here, most times when there's an access close, you must also, that's why whenever you're in a site, when you're taking your informations, you need to be very intentional. Sometimes these lands maybe this land could be the last land in the close, and when that happens, let's say this is a side of the close that ends that entrance. You are supposed to, since it's a close and that's the last line, you're supposed to close it up at that point. Then you indicate your access road. From this drawing of mine now, you can tell the land the access road is coming in this way, and we were told this is a close, so you indicate it as well as the access close. Let's say this is not the last land in the close. Maybe there are other lands that extends, but it's a close. It's simple. You can still indicate the road as how we normally do it, but make sure you still write access close to let everyone who have access to that plan know that the land is located in a region where the road that is leading to the land is a close, not an access road leading to another road. Now we have gotten our area, we have gotten our bearing and distances, our minutes. This is the basic way to plot a land. The ABC of plotting any land. This is it. Other things are information. We plotted about 2 plots, and also no, to plot a plot of land, in different regions, plots of land are of different measurements. Some region take 100 feet by 50, some are different. But for where I'm located and what I'm using to teach you now, a plot of land is 465. While 2 plots of land is 930. That's the measurement of the area. You can tell the plots of the land by the area. Thank you very much. And please do subscribe. Ask questions. If there's anything you don't understand, let us know so we can explain further. And do subscribe. It helps and motivates us to do more. Thank you and see you in the next class.